And this one is, I walk the high tension power line. So high tension power lines, they have to replace the whole system in the Puget Sound. That's what they're trying to do to continue to port the amount of electricity into the King County, Snohomish County, Pierce County area. They're right now, you guys, going through and redoing towers, putting in bigger high tension power lines, and it has a significant characteristic impact on a piece of property. Darcy.
Okay, so first I want to go from the lending side.
Yes.
Because you just said, I find out about it late in the game, and that frustrates the heck out of you.
I'm going to get hot. Yep.
How does the lender look at that, and how does that affect a loan?
Okay. The number one reason why it affects us on the lending side, if there's a high tension power line, the underwriter wants to see another comp that has sold that is similar to that house that is sold for about the same amount, right? So what happens all too often, the Johnsons go out, they get under contract for $700,000. I get an appraisal back for $600,000, and I look at it, and one of the negative characteristics noted on the appraisal by the appraiser is the house backs up to high tension power lines. Comp number one is the only comp that I could find in the area that has also sold next to high tension power lines. And then people get mad at me because I have an appraisal that's $100,000 short.
Right. So on that, we're not saying that there's not lots of other houses that have this feature, or I guess it is a feature.
It is a feature.
It's a negative characteristic to many people, but it's a feature. So it's not that we don't have lots of other houses out there that have this. It's we don't have lots of other houses that have sold recently enough to use and are the same, type of builds, square footage, all the things to make it a comparable property. I mean, there's times we try to get as close to the subject property as possible for those comparable properties.
Yeah.
And there's times they have to go out super far to find something like that.
5+ miles.
At that point, we're not calling it. I mean, it's hardly a comp. It's just checking a box. And that's really hard for the appraisal.
Yep.
Now I'm going to show you a picture.
I love this house. This is a beautiful house.
It is a beautiful house. And this one I did list. This is one of my listing photos. It was several years ago. It's an absolutely gorgeous house. It had 2 5-acre lots. At the time, well, first of all, I just want to say it looks...
Look at that thing.
Right?
It's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous.
Sign me up. There's a little playroom over the garage.
That was the cool room. It was.
Look at the aggregated concrete driveway, immaculate landscape. Everything looks
Let me show the aerial view. Okay, so this is the house.
Right.
This that I circled right here, that red circle, is a high power tension line. And you can actually see 3 sets of lines going by that house. Those are the wires.
Yep.
Okay. As it rained, you could hear it sizzling. I mean, most of the time the windows were closed, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But the questions that I received from buyers were health issues associated with it.
Yeah.
That was a really, really big one. And value. If this property had not had the power lines on it, I could have easily sold the whole thing together for probably about 1.3.